Welcome to Matrix Talk. And what is this one, Phil? This is
This is,
at the Improv,
yes, on March.
episode number 1. Numero uno, the first one. And
Numero uno of March of 2024.
right. And today we're going to do a little bit of politics with at the Improv. Now, the first thought for folks to know, we're not trying to be funny improv. I mean, we might be accidentally funny. That can happen. But this is improv in the service of psychological flexibility.
Yes.
What we're shooting for. And it seemed to us that I have to put my greeting in. Greetings from Maine. There, I'll put my thing in case people want to come in. So we're gonna do it. It probably won't even take the whole hour.
No, I don't think so.
I don't know, but we are going to do it. So if you're wondering how in the world do a couple of folks like that, Bill and I, do improv, well, it's called the Act Matrix. That's how we do it. And so first, a little instruction about improv, maybe. Just
let's do that first.
The briefest of it. If you go to improv class, you will quickly learn that the first rule of improv, or the first thing you do, it's called yes anding. Okay. So, in improv, if an audience think you're in a comedy improv and you say, anybody in the audience give me any word. And so somebody gives you a word.
Like aardvark.
Right, aardvark. And you, at that point, you're going to improv aardvark. Now, with comedy improv, you're going to try and make it funny. Okay. For good reason. It's what people came for.
Yes, they would be upset otherwise.
So but even our improv is based on that basic formula. And it can be said that you can go take classes in improv. I've done it, I know. But in the end of the day, it's yes anding. It's always that yes
skill.
Meaning that whatever the person says, you're saying yes. And the improv, of course, comes after the and. The way we've done it is, and you can set up an improv this way, folks. So if you wanted to get up on stage, and you can do a setup, and you can use whiteboards and pieces of paper and all kinds of different things. You've probably been to improv routines. So we do that, and we do it with the Act Matrix. So we will have set up the context for the improv so it looks like that. So that what Phil's holding on. So senses, mind, satisfaction, relief, who's important goes in the lower right. We would tell folks, so who's important goes in the lower right. Yucky stuff goes over in the lower left. Stuff that you do, behaviors that you do to get relief, go in the upper left. And behaviors that you do to get satisfaction, that is to approach who's important, who and what's important to you, goes in the upper right. And with that said, now we're ready for improv. We're going to use this for our improv. And the audience goes, okay. We're ready.
Yeah, we're ready for improv. Yay, let's go.
We're ready. And we are too. And we've been calling it this for many years, well over 10 years. We've been calling this the improv section. Okay. So now, but we're not just going to be improv. We want to do a specific topic improv. Okay. So we're going to do politics. And so we've got a couple of people on. We'll be doing clips out there. So the main thing is that you get in mind what Phil has up there. There it is. And really, you got like 4 main things to to sort into, which is the lower right, the lower left, the upper left, and the upper right. Okay? That's your cubby holes. Okay. And so the improv goes is you take a word like politics. You may have heard a lot about that recently. Politics. Now, before you can do anything else with politics, here it comes. Where are you going to put it? Where are you going to take a word like politics? And everything's fair game. I mean, there is no wrong answer here, folks. So you could say politics in the upper left. You could say politics in the upper right. You could say politics in the lower left, and you could say politics in the lower right. But you get to choose anybody. And if we were doing an audience, we would right now say, where do folks want to put politics? If anybody's with us to chat in and say, well, where would you put politics on this diagram? I know there's at least one. There's two more people with us, but don't know if you want to. I mean, there's no wrong answer. It's just politics. Politics is everywhere.
Yep.
Read Greek stuff, Roman stuff, Egyptian stuff. All politics, right?
Yeah.
Always coming back to politics. But where do they go? We have like one person on. But that's what you do with it. Where would you put politics? So, where would you put it, Phil?
Oh, gee. You know what? I have been hearing, I'm up to my eyeballs in politics right now. So I put politics in the lower left for me.
Meaning yucky.
It is yucky. I can't seem to escape it.
So it's yucky.
I have an urge to escape it. See?
I'm with Phil. I would put it there too, because nowadays, I mean, we were talking about this earlier.
Yes.
I mean, I work hard not to get any political news or anything. I mean, nada. It's like because now it's become very yucky. That's the word, yucky.
That's
and
it.
So the escape, the relief move is, well, don't watch the news about politics. Don't. And Phil and I are both practicing that.
Yep. I don't watch any TV news on that has anything to do with politics.
Don't want to do it. So there you go. So that's how some people might. Other people would do it differently, but there's no right or wrong answer here.
No.
I mean, it's like, where do you put politics? And then after you put politics, is this, well, I guess some people might put well, they can put it anywhere.
Yeah.
They really can. You can just put it anywhere. But the point of the exercise is for you to take politics. And let's say you're very invested in politics.
Yeah.
Okay. Where do you put it? Meaning somebody might say, well, politics are very important to me. Okay. If you said that kind of statement, sort of sounds lower rightish, right? It's very important to you. Like, great. Okay. Well, then what kind of behaviors do you do to approach that very important politics? Well, they might have fun going to rallies.
Oh, go to a rally.
Knocking doors.
Making phone calls.
Doing the stuff of politics because they're important to you. And notice everything I just said doesn't matter what political persuasion you have. It's just,
nope.
That's the basics of it. That's what you do. So it could be there. Or Phil and I going, the heck with that. We're not doing anything.
No, I'm still in the lower left.
Yeah, no.
Pretty consistent there now these days.
Mine personally, I will go vote for sure. I will definitely. I've voted, as far as I know, every single time since I was 18 years old.
Yeah.
I have not missed.
Yeah.
So I'm a voter, but I'm not a watcher of politics anymore. So, so that's it. But my point here is some people might find it so distasteful they don't even go vote.
Oh, yeah.
They don't
That would
vote at all.
be the other relief move. I don't want anything to do with anything about politics at all,
Yeah, including they don't.
including it doesn't really matter. I'm not going to vote.
So in this case, folks, what you might do with politics out there in the world is say, well, here's this diagram, and you do it. Who's important? What's important in the lower right? Yucky stuff in the lower left. Stuff you do to get relief is in the upper left, and stuff you do to move toward the stuff is in the upper right. And given that, where would you put politics? So whenever somebody brings up politics, you might say, well, first let's start off by doing this diagram. Let's start there. Now for the technical stuff. Why did we do that?
What are Kevin and Phil up to?
What we're doing is taking that awful word politics. Okay, we're taking it and we're saying, yes, politics.
Give me the word politics.
Yes. And where does it go on a diagram like this? Now, and with that, and we've stripped away, and you notice I said a couple of times, there's no right or wrong place to put it.
Nope.
And we're not judging your politics. That's not it at all. It's politics, devoid of all of the, the political parties.
Yeah,
and that kind of
all the trappings.
stuff. The Whigs, the Tories, and
Yep.
all that kind of stuff. No, it's not there. It's politics. It's politics. And so, where do you put it? That's the whole thing. And by doing that, we added flexibility to politics. And remember, I started off saying this is improv in the service of psychological flexibility. And it's really important to remember that the improv isn't for funny, though it could be. And there are literally political comedians. We know that. And you could improv it. But that's not our point. Our point is, well, it's one of those words that could probably use a little more flexibility. Could use some flexing. And then you say, well, what for? Well, that's the thing about flexing. You don't know what's going to happen after you flex. You don't know. However, it does increase the possibility that you'll think of something new and interesting to do. So that would be what you might get. No guarantee, just what you might get. But by definition, you have added flexibility to politics when you ask somebody else or yourself to sort it into that. And I would dare say almost every political discussion would be helped by that.
Well, it certainly wouldn't do much damage. Let's put it that way.
Well, now, folks, let's think when you say politics, your politics, almost around the world, you say politics, and something probably happens on the inside of you in response to that word politics. So what shows up inside of you when you hear the word politics? Somebody's with us, they can tell us what shows up inside of you when you hear the word politics. Oh, Bacon's on with us.
There you go.
What shows up inside of you when you hear politics? Just the sound. The sound politics.
You're just hearing it.
Meaning, are you like Phil and you get the Or maybe you're one of people that get all warm and fuzzy. Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Talking about politics.
I mean, both of those are responses that people have, and everything in between are responses that people have to politics. Well, either of those responses, I love it, I hate it, whatever, those are not flexible. And then if you go on into further into it, I hate it or I love it or whatever, but it's because I agree with X politics, you know. So I'm a card carrying Tory. I'm a card carrying Whig. I'm, I'm using British politics to stay away from America.
Right.
But so now, now it sounds like you're identifying with the politics. Once you say that, I'm a Whig, I'm a Tory, I'm a whatever. Now, apparently, you look just like one of them.
Yeah.
I am a peacock, so therefore I need to look like a peacock.
Walk and talk and dress like a peacock.
I am a Tory, so what's a Tory look like? It's more like what do they sound like? What words come out of their mouths? Okay, but then if it gets into your identity, and once it gets into your identity, something like politics, oh, now that's a whole nother kettle of fish.
Things get very interesting.
Because now you will defend your identity to the hilt. And that's why politics get mean and ornery in a real hurry, is it's because people are defending their identities. It's me.
Yep.
Longer that it's me. So, but from that stance, you're not flexible. You're just not. It just doesn't matter whether you're a Whig or Tory or anything else. It doesn't matter. Once you go down that road, I am it and I fervently believe it and I'm got grabbed hold of it. Well, now it's your identity, but you're not flexible. And so, and it could be said that you won't be as effective at being a Whig or a Tory with that level of inflexibility. Stay light on your feet. So back to it. You look at politics, where does it go? Just that simple an answer. Not are you a Whig, not are you a Tory. No. Politics, where does it go? That's what we're up to. That's how we're creating psychological flexibility. And that's how we would start our conversation. That's it. So how to kill this is to say to somebody, no, you've got it wrong. That's not the right place to put it.
Yep.
That's not improv, by the way.
Let me show you where it goes.
That's the killing of improv. So you don't want to do that. So
Stop
the
it.
improv is like, so now you can have a group of people, half Tories, half Whigs, all of them, very vehement supporters of their causes. But you're all, I'm not worried about that. I just politics. Where's it go?
I just want to know where you put it.
That's it. And once they have that discussion, they'll all be more flexible. They just will. They'll be more flexible. It's quite amazing.
It really
is. Get into conversations like, well, what's the point of politics? Why are we doing politics? Now, I already told you why a lot of people are doing it. It's because they got their own ego into it.
Got invested.
They're vested into it. They're actually projecting their own ego onto it. But look it up in the dictionary. That's not no.
Nope.
Politics is about running something, right? A company or a state or a city or a country or
even a classroom.
Even a classroom. There's politics. We all know the cool kids and the not cool kids.
Oh yeah. You got the geeks and the nerds and the jocks and the right.
That's all a form of politics.
It's politics.
Okay. So, and who's going to be in control? Are we going to have a monarchy? Are we going to have a democracy? Are we going to have a whatever? Those are all politics about how people run things, how people come together and run things.
Managing themselves. Yep.
That's politics.
Yep.
And so, from that point of view, just from the definition, it's much more interesting. But you can have that kind of conversation because you started it off with just use our diagram. You can. This is not the only way to do it.
Yep.
But remember, and if you don't forget, the point is psychological flexibility. That's what we're going for. Really want to get technical? If you're adding flexible frames to it. So, and we're just going to do that right away. If you don't want to do it this way and you want to get all hitched up, first ask people what their politics are, and
well, yeah, see how that works to promote flexibility.
they get a war going on in the room, right?
Ooh. You can almost see the seas are parting, right?
So, for an example, folks, doing it this way, we literally could get a whole bunch of, and we'll go to, the U.S. politics. We could get a bunch of Biden supporters on one side of the room and a bunch of Trump supporters on the other side of the room, and you would be going, "Oh my God, it's going to be awful." And instead, we say, "Well, here's this diagram." People start, telling us where would politics go on this diagram. It doesn't matter whether you're Biden or Trump. That doesn't matter. Where you put it is where you put it. If it's really important to you, you're going to put it in the lower right. Doesn't matter if you're Trump or Biden. Doesn't matter. It goes in the lower right because it's really important to you. If you're like Phil, the whole goddamn stuff gives me a bellyache. I don't want anything to do with it. That's yucky. Okay. Once again, doesn't matter about your politics. It's just your reaction. So notice that's how you get the psychological flexibility going. That's how this is done. And with any improv, it's all in the setup. The setup.
Here's your setup.
The setup we're doing. You got to set up. You literally got to. You got to set up for improv. You can't set up for not improv. It won't work. Improv has to be improv from the very get-go. So somebody give me a word, any word. Give you a word. You go, yes, aardvarks. And, just the other day I was driving down the street and I saw a place and it said it had aardvark burgers.
Oh, wow. I love aardvark burgers.
And now Phil came in with it. Well, Phil, last time you had an aardvark burger, what did you have with it?
Well, I like to put some mustard and relish on my aardvark.
All right. And now we're just creating an improv story based off of aardvarks. And we're just going to keep adding to it's because it's and you just keep adding. So that's all you're doing. It's that simple. So now we're going to do politics. So next time you go to have a political discussion, have it that way. Yeah. You won't find very many of those on the news because the news wants to sell eyeballs. And for the most part, they've all figured out that you're going to get eyeballs from the vehement supporters of one side or the other. So the news is either going to be Biden news or it's going to be Trump news. And in order to get eyeballs for those two, why do you want eyeballs? Because they'll spend money.
Yeah.
So very capitalistic. It is what it is. But that's why whichever side you get, it's going to be hyperbole and oh my God.
Yeah. Outrage.
There's all kinds of stuff that's going to rile you up and get you going. And riled up people spend money.
Yep.
We don't make
donate money.
We don't make much money doing what we do because we purposely don't rile people up.
We just show them a point of view.
We'll have them. We'll do it. We'd have a bunch of Trump supporters and Biden supporters in the same room. That's fine with us. You know? At least some people go, "Oh my God, you can't do that." Well, why not? We're talking about psychological flexibility. Isn't how isn't that important? I guess you could say that psychological flexibility is very important to Phil and I.
Yeah. We could even say that we are inflexible about psychological
Yeah,
flexibility.
see, that's the problem. You get really tied up with something, you get inflexible about it. That's the nature of the
Yeah,
universe.
I would cop to that. I would cop.
I would definitely cop to that. But there's a grand flexibility to that.
Right.
Okay. So back to it. How do they do that? They You can do it billion zillion different ways. Fine. We do it with that diagram.
Right
That's
here.
how we do it. And that's how we add flexibility. And the add is very quick. It's just, well, where would you put it? Now, there's other things you could do, but for politics, that's what you want to do. You won't see it on the news because it's boring and it won't sell.
Yeah.
But if you want to have, you're at Thanksgiving or 4th of July or something, and the people, somebody, you know, Uncle Ed or Aunt Georgie or whatever. Well, one of them's a Trump supporter and the other one's a Biden supporter, and they're about to ruin your picnic. Let's put it.
Yeah. Those aardvark burgers are getting cold.
Yeah, they're about to ruin everything. You know? Oh no, not this again. Oh no. And so what you can do is say, hold on a minute. This is the practical side. I got this diagram. And these guys asked this question. You know, you two are talking about politics. Where would you put it up here? Where would you put politics? Now, and with that, you got them thinking. It's just that simple. Now you got them thinking, going, well, where would I put it?
Where would I
And that's the flexibility. You added the flexibility by asking the question. And now everything's going to be different now.
Yeah.
Isn't that cool, Phil?
It is cool. It's like it's a stuffy room and someone has opened up the windows, you know?
And they can't go back off of it.
No.
And now whatever comes up, whatever Uncle Ed or Aunt Georgie starts flaming about, you can always go, oh, remember the diagram up here.
Yeah. Remember? Yeah. Where would you put that, Uncle Joe?
And that's what it's for, folks. It's to get people cool-headed so they can make intelligent conversations instead of, quite frankly, stupid conversations.
Yeah.
I saw a quote. It's about the internet is cool. You can be whatever you want to be on the internet. I wonder why so many people choose to be idiots.
There you go.
You can choose who you want to be.
Reveal themselves.
Choosing to be an idiot. So,
Yeah.
But now we're being funny. But anyway, that's how you do it, folks. It's pretty easy. Well, it is actually very easy once you remember to do it. So that's how you do it. We'll be back with others. They're not always this simple. But it turns out politics is simple for doing this, for adding flexibility to it.
Yep.
There's other topics that are equally thorny and equally as easy to deal with using this. We'll get to other ones and all kinds of stuff. We'll just have fun. But we're always going to improv. That diagram, some topic, politics or something, and then we'll flip it into it. We'll do whatever shows up because that's what we do. Hey, what do we? Oh, you know what? We're in 30 minutes, Phil. We're going to record something.
That's right.
So we're going to record another course. And that's how we make money. You click the green button.
Yep.
Phil and I can keep on doing this.
Check out a course, buy one, help us out a little bit.
Yeah, that's what we do. And send your friends and say, oh, you want to hear how to have a peaceful conversation about politics?
Yeah.
How to get your drunk uncle to settle down.
How do you get them to the table?
How to get them to the table and get them talking reasonably
Right.
about it. Because in the end of the day, folks, if you watch it, it's always because their ego got involved.
Oh man,
their identity got involved.
You could just see it showing up in people.
So I identify being a fill in the blank.
Yeah, and then I must defend my identity.
Yep. And some people go to pretty big lengths to defend that. Actually, they kill other people.
Well, that is the ultimate.
Yeah, you can get all the way.
Really on the offense.
Yeah, you can kill other people in the service of your political identity.
Mm-hmm.
Yuck. So, okay, so we did it.
We have.
We will do it again. We're going to now take a break, come back, and do a course.
Yeah, which you'll probably be hearing about in the near future.
If you want to see our courses, just click on the green button. It takes you right to an entire list of all the different courses that we've done. Okay. Bye. Have fun with sorting out your politics.
Yeah. Flexible.
Bye-bye.